State of Oregon is trying a new way to help families and kids deal with the stress and anxiety of the new school year by adopting a new law which will allow students to take mental health days in addition to traditional sick days.
So joining us on the KOGO News Live line, the founder and clinical director at the Brain Performance Center, Lee Richardson. Lee, why not just use a sick day for a mental health day?
Well, I think that what they're trying to do is create an awareness of mental health. Mental health is just as important as your physical health. We all know what our cholesterol is. We all know we need to get to the gym, so that we don't have a heart attack. But we don't know how important our mental health is. And we kind of power through. It's just a bad day. It's just a bad day. I can make it. And sometimes you just need to take a break. Utah and Oregon are the two states that have implemented this law. And part of what is motivating them is the suicide rate. It's extremely high for the age bracket 10 to 34. And that's a huge cry out for help, because that suicide decision is a 10-minute decision made in the brain. And if you could just take a step back, have someone reach out to you, comfort you, then you can make a different decision. And I think that is the global view that they're trying to take with mental health. It is important.
It is important. But my question is, if you're being bullied and you're considering suicide, how many days can you take here? It seems like it would be like more than one or two.
Well, I think hopefully that being able to take one or two would create a balance and would create that feeling like, it's okay. It's okay that I reacted that way. Now I'm ready. I'm ready to pick myself up and move forward. To me, I talk mental health all day, 5 days a week, and people still don't get that it is perfectly okay to say, you know what? I'm feeling a little down right now, or what happened over the weekend left me feeling a little anxious. And the only way that you're going to work through that is talk about it.
So do you think, Lee, that kids have it harder these days than we did? Because bullies have always been around.
Bullies have, but now, if you bullied me in the back of the classroom and, one other person saw it, that's one thing. If you bully me online and 300 people see it, whether I know them or not, the impact of that, it's so humiliating. And, people laugh at you, whether they know you or not. They saw it online, and they're laughing at you, and they're looking at you funny. It's a different situation.
So, what do you do if you're a parent and you find out your kid is one of those bullies? I know it's kind of off topic, but it seems to be that, we concentrate on the victims of bullying, not so much on the people who are doing it.
And you make a very good point. It is just not the person being bullied that is impacted by it. The person doing the bullying, there's a reason why. And as a parent, if I found out my child was doing that, I would have to understand what's driving that behavior. Sometimes it's what they see modeled in their home. And that would be a big slap in the face, but I would like to see it that way instead of another way, So I think that as parents, we have to use our observation skills, and we have to pay attention to the way our kids act. How do they treat their siblings? If you're treating the siblings pretty bad, you may be treating other people pretty bad.
And, another thing about this, Lee, is, what if the kid does need a mental health day or two, and the parents are like, no, you just got to go to school and deal with it?
Well, that's the sad part, because and a lot of times, you ever heard the term skipping school? Why do kids skip school? Because they just can't face it. Now, sometimes there's some fun in it and some rebellion, But if a kid says, I need a mental health day, and a parent says no, that's placing that kid in a very vulnerable spot.
Lee Richardson, founder and clinical director at the Brain Performance Center. Thank you again, Lee.
Thank you for having me.